Hi, this is Paul. I wanted to do a video about, and this is going to be my opinion, a video more, it's going to be more of a speculation video. The Superman trailer came out the Thursday, not Thursday, excuse me, Wednesday. I did a reaction to that, okay, and I loved it. And I also did by the time you see this, I've done a breakdown video, and that video will be on my other channel, my main YouTube channel. Follow the link down below. It'll take you to the to that video. But the thing I wanted to do was do a little speculation. And again, this is my opinion channel anyway, so hence I can do the speculation. And I think you hit an ice cream truck. I think you hit a. It's been nice in New York today. It's 75 right now. It went up to 81 today. It was nice, a nice day. And there's part of me wants to close that window. uh, but we will press on. Okay. Anyway. Uh, the main thrust of this video is that we know James Gunn. We know because he has people have speculated about it. He said he's in the middle of also, besides the promotion for the Superman movie that he has coming out in July. He's also in the writing phase. He said of his next project. Okay, and I think I heard it mentioned again. Like I said, this is my speculation and stuff that it's supposed to involve Superman, and I'm thinking I know a lot of people have speculated it's a Superman and Batman movie, maybe a World's Finest movie, not a Batman v Superman movie like Batman versus Superman. In this movie, they'll be like teaming up together to fight whatever common enemy they're gonna have to fight. So like that World's Finest animated movie that came on, that was the one where Clark Kent, that's Clark Kent, excuse me, where Bruce Wayne basically got engaged to Lois Lane, which I thought was crazy, but and then she finds out that he's Batman and stuff. It was a really good with the Joker and Lex Luthor. It was a really good animated movie with Batman and Superman teaming up. That was like the first time they met and they actually teamed up in this. So so again, this is my opinion. So I'm going to speculate, okay, uh, about what's going to be and what I think could possibly be. Now we know that he's that one of the projects that he talked about doing is a Batman Brave and the Bold movie, but now we're I don't think it's even in the writing phase. And I know the guy director of It and the director of the Flash movie was supposed to be directing that, and we haven't heard anything about that movie. I don't think it's even in the writing phase at the moment, and so that movie may be a little ways off. But I think what James Gunn may be doing, again, this is a speculation, that he may be doing a Batman and Superman team-up movie. Okay, and now we also heard that he said he's close to working on a project too with Wonder Woman. Okay, I don't think it's Paradise Lost, but I think it is a Wonder Woman project. Okay, so this is my speculation. I think he is working on a sort of a World's Finest movie, but this again won't be a Batman v Superman situation. This will be a movie where Batman and Superman will be teaming up to fight, maybe even fight Lex, and maybe they'll introduce an actor playing the Joker or something like that, and maybe he's doing that movie, which would be great. And what also would be great is, and again, this is my speculation, we know that Kara Zor-El, his cousin, she's going to be Supergirl. She's going to be in the Superman movie. We know that because, her movie they finished filming already. But we know, I think she's already filmed her part that's going to be in this movie, and it probably might be even a cameo in the after credit scene where her and Clark talk and stuff, and she says she's going to go off, and have her birth, because based on the the comic that the Woman of Tomorrow, that she takes crypto with her. So I'm thinking that either in this movie, at the end of this movie, in the after credit scenes, she's going to tell Clark that she's going off to celebrate her birthday, and maybe Clark will say, exchange out there, take crypto with you, just to be safe. And I can see that happening, him telling her, and then you pick it up in the movie, or they may save that part of it for the Supergirl movie by having David Cornsweet be in the beginning, telling her, giving her crypto and stuff. But I think she definitely is going to be in this Superman movie, probably in a post-credit scene. I don't know if it'll be her coming to Earth or her and Clark just having a conversation or something. So, because I don't think unless she's well hidden or something, or even in the fortress, because you would say, where is Kara Zor-El, especially if the fortress is going to get attacked and all that stuff. Where would she, but I think either she comes to Earth maybe at the end of the movie or in the post-credit scene, she comes to Earth, and Clark, she introduces herself as his cousin, and then it'll go off like that, and then in the Supergirl movie, you know, you'll see in the beginning of it, her and Clark are, talking and stuff, and she says she's going to go off and learn, celebrate her birthday, and then Clark tells her, take, Crypto, because Crypto is a part of that story. Take Crypto with you, and then it'll go off like that. Okay. Anyway, but what I think about the World's Finest movie, I think that's a distinct possibility, and also, again, this is speculation. What if one of the post-credit scenes? What if it has more than one post-credit scene? What if it's one post-credit scene with Kara and one post-credit scene with Batman? And hear me out. Wouldn't that be great? That it's already, because remember, this is an already established universe, right? And Superman's been Superman for a couple of years, so we also know that Batman is a little bit older. Okay, so we know he's Batman, so there's a Batman out there, right there. So what if him and Clark are already friends? Okay, like Lois and Superman apparently are dating for a few months already. But what if Clark already knows, him and Bruce know each other, and at the end of this movie, they have a conversation. Maybe Clark, flies to the fortress, not the fortress, excuse me, flies to the Batcave, and they have like a little brief conversation and stuff. Okay, which would lead into this movie that James Gunn is writing right now. And I think that would be freaking awesome. Okay, and then after the World's Finest movie, then you can do the Batman Brave and the Bold movie. I think. Okay, and also probably going to get a Wonder Woman movie. But I think I hope that's what it is, because I know people were speculating about what project could he be talking about, and some people were even thinking maybe he's going to do a Justice League International, because you got Guy Gardner. I know you have to introduce a bunch of other characters to do a Justice League International movie, but I'm thinking World's Finest movie would be great, and if James Gunn even directed, that would be freaking awesome. That way you put another movie with Superman, David Cornsweet, and now the question is, the actor playing Batman, that's the thing. Who's going to pick to play Batman? And I still think the guy from, I think it's 1883, that's a spinoff of Yellowstone. There's an actor, I forgot the actor's name. Hold on. I can tell you what his name is right now. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. Hold on. Let's do it like this. I go 18, I think it's not 18. Is it 18? No, it's 1923. Excuse me, not 1883. It's 1923. There's an actor. 83.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. 1923 cast. Hold on. Yeah, Brandon Skilner. That's his name. Okay. He's 34 years old. Okay. I think he's 6'2". Yeah, he's 6'2". And I know, David Cornsweet is 6'4". And so and this guy, okay, I don't know if you can see this picture of him, because I know in 1823 he has like a mustache and all this, but this is him kind of clean shaven with a little stubbly thing. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that good enough, but you can just Google it. But he's 34 years old. He's 6'2". Brandon Skilner. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And this guy, yeah, I mean, he has a mustache and a lot of photos and stuff, but there's a picture of him without the mustache. And again, he can go for he has sort of a Bruce Wayne-esque look to him in this photo. This type his name in Google. And again, he's 34 years old, which is right around the sweet age and he can probably play older. You can say play 36. He's a little bit older than David Cornsweet, and like I say, he's 6'2", and usually in most descriptions of Batman in comics, he's described as 6'2", 210 pounds, and stuff. So again, and then movie magic, you could make it appear like him and Superman are the same size anyway. But he's just 2 inches shorter than David Cornsweet, which I think, again, and he's a big guy. He can be, and that's what you want your Batman to be, and that's what I would love for him to be, and I think would be great. What would really, but it's hard to do things in secret now with leaks and everything else and scoopers and everything else. But that would be great if they had an after credit scene, a second one where Clark flies to the to the Batcave and him and Bruce talk, and he tells him about how dangerous Lex is and all this stuff, and speculation, and to be careful and watch it. But just it would be like a great moment, okay? And that way you can introduce the character of Batman into this universe by having that cameo in there, and then do the world's finest where they team up to fight, to face another, to face a threat, and that would be freaking awesome, okay? And you don't have to put Wonder Woman in that movie, because I think that would just be, because most people would compare it, they would compare it to Batman v Superman. Although this movie, World's Finest movie, Batman and Superman are already known each other, and so there's no animosity with the fighting, with them having to fight each other and all this stuff. They're already, they have their, they're set in their ways, obviously, and Batman is set in his ways, but they're friends. Clark is, Bruce considers Clark his friend and stuff, and a little naive and all that stuff. So, and then you could just go from there. You could have, what you call it, be, Lex, and then just cast an actor to play the Joker or something else. And just, again, I would love to see that movie, and then you can do the Batman Brave and the Bold movie, and then eventually, do a Justice League movie. Okay, so again, that's just my speculation, okay, about what James Gunn's next project could potentially be. Again, my opinion, okay, and that would be great to do a World's Finest movie where they team up Batman. You can introduce Batman in this movie at the after credit scene, one of the after credit scenes, which means you got to cast Batman, and even if you did it, and like say you did it, David, James Gunn's like say films it on a lot somewhere by himself with just him, David Cornsprut, and the actor who plays Batman, just filming on a closed set, and it would inevitably leak because somebody will talk, okay. Unfortunately, these days you can't surprise people, unfortunately, but I would love for that to happen, so that way, and that would lead into a World's Finest movie with Batman and Superman, teaming up to fight, two villains or a threat. I think that would be freaking awesome, and then lead into Batman Brave and the Bold movie and stuff. I think that was great. But I also, like I said, because somebody asked James Gunn about Wonder Woman project, and he said they're working on it. So hopefully, there'll be a Wonder Woman movie as well. Okay. Anyway, let me know what you think about what James Gunn's potential next project could be. Again, like I said, he said he's in the writing phase of it. Okay, so what do you think that could potentially be? Do you think it could be a World's Finest movie? I would love for it to be a World's Finest movie. That would be freaking awesome. Okay, and like I said, you can introduce the Batman in this movie at the end in the post-credit scene, and then do that movie, and then do the Batman the Brave and the Bold and stuff. Okay? So anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. In the description box, I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, Paul Views and Opinions. You check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. Patrons are $5 a month. Over 200 videos, 5 different categories. You get 5-minute preview clips of all the content that's on there. Follow the link. It'll take you to that. Also have a link down below to my merchandise store. As you can see, I'm wearing my baseball shirt. Okay? I sell hats, t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, hoodies, water bottles, teddy bears, for men, women, unisex. Follow the link. It'll take you to the store. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Paul saying so long. Take care.